If you are sitting here to heal yourself because you have taken responsibility, you know somewhere you are in charge, nobody is going to help you out on that. Only you can change it because it's your vibration. So the moment you take that kind of a bhava, that kind of a responsibility, you are sending silent messages to your own karmic patterns that I have learned this or I'm willing to learn this. I want to change my pattern. That is why people who are self healing, like these sessions we are doing, so many things we are listening, right? So much in depth we are listening. And you will not agree, you will not accept it. Does everybody accept this? What I'm saying? Today is the today is the sixth day that we are doing this, right? So plus the webinar, almost a week we are talking, and so many things we are talking. Yesterday, for example, I talked to you about the emotional healing, and I told you until the moha part you heal, it's very difficult to get out of it. The moha part. Moha means simply means Maya. It's caught you. If Maya catches you only, Moha will happen. So if you want to detach, unclutch from that point, from where all your issues are beginning, unclutch doesn't mean giving up. Unclutch simply means detaching yourself. You are there, but your inclination, your connectivity, your grasping due to the wrong feeling, thinking that this is real, that grasping is called Maya. And the ego's function is only that. Ego simply means it's lost. It doesn't have viveka. It doesn't have awareness. Ego simply means a wrong idea. Ego means what? Identity. I think I'm a father, mother, husband, wife, son, daughter because I think I'm not that. I'm the Atman, but I think that. So that thinking, that feeling is ego. Ego itself is deception. So what else can it catch? It will catch deception only, isn't it? False eye will catch the false things. What is false? All that appears and disappears in this world. So that unclutching which has to be done, that is called moha, nirmoha, nirmohatvam, satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivanmukti. Adi Shankaracharya. Why is he telling nirmohatvam? निर्मोह जब तक होता है आगे नहीं हो सकता. निश्चल तत्व will not come. Yesterday we discussed Nityanand Baba saying nirmal man, nischal man, vishal man. So if nischalta has to come, nirmal man has to happen. What is nirmal man? What is purification of the mind? This holding on to the wrong ideas is called mala. Cleansing yourself is called purifying the mind. People normally think nirmal man means just cleaning the thoughts. Oh, I have negative thoughts, I have dirty thoughts, I have to remove this and I heal and I cultivate good thoughts. No, my dear. Your good thought also is mala. Thought itself is mala because thought is not real. The moment you have thought, Maya is there, you're going to catch it. So, Nirmohatvam comes by Nischalatatvam. Nischalatatvam comes by Nirmalman, Nischalman. So, what does Adi Shankaracharya says for Nirmohatvam? He starts with Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam. He is giving the formula there. What brings you to Nirmoha? Satsang. Satsangatve Nissangatvam. In Satsang, what is Satsang? Satya ke Sang. Sitting, abiding in the truth, be it external or internal. The real meaning of Satsang is sitting with your own Sat. You meditating and being self absorbed in the real. Satya ke Sat. That is Satsang. But for any reasons you are not able to hold the Satsang inside, then you listen to the Satsang outside. What is outside Satsang? Only that tattva which takes you to your inner Satsang. That is true Satsang outside. Your outer God, outer temples must take you to your inner temple. The outer Ram must take you to your inner Ram. Outer scripture must take you to your inner wisdom. Outside wisdom must take you to your inner wisdom. Otherwise, they are useless. So, in our glamour spirituality, we are always outside, 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 outside. It never leads us inside. That is why the importance of satsang. Satya ke sang. Even if you're looking out, look at the satya in what you see. Uske sang raho. That is satsang. So, I call these sessions as satsang. Because every time you're listening to truths and you are able to avoid, you're able to reflect inside. So Satsangatve Nisangatvam. What does he say? Satsang leads you to Nisang. निसंग का ऑपोजिट क्या है? संग. संग बैठना, किसी के संग होना. संगम means being with the world. Satsang leads you to nisangat, means it takes you to your inner self. It doesn't take you outside and make you connect to this outside false world. It connects you to your inner world. So that is called nisang. Sang nahi, nisang. Nisang means solitary, solitude in your own state of being. That is satsang, right? So satsang makes you nisang, because only when you nisang happens, you can be sang with yourself. Or when the sang outside, what you're catching outside, only when that goes, you can be nisang, so that you can be in sangam with yourself. So Satsangatve Nissangatvam. Yesterday's topic this is. Yesterday what I said is all about nisang. Why? Yesterday's topic was nirmoha, moha, moha. So now what does Adi Shankaracharya say? Satsangatve Nissangatvam. Nissangatve Nirmohatvam. This constantly holding on to the outside world, when it slowly starts becoming nisang by the power of satsang, constantly listening to the truth and abiding and practicing it, you become nisang. Nisang again doesn't mean giving up the world. You are all involved there, but your attachment clinging reduces because you cling to your presence, living in divine presence. That is what I'm calling a shifting into awareness. You come into the awareness that you are awareness, but your awareness through your indriyas is running outside and catching all the outside things. So when that disconnect happens, unclutching happens with from the outside object, like a rubber band, your awareness comes back where it is. So nisang ho. This nisanga, constantly when practiced, it leads to nirmoha, nirmohatvam. There is where the moha will fade. I told you no yesterday, total failure that I see in my 4 years, I have succeeded. I am very happy with the rest of the results that have come. But one major failure that has been in the past 4 years is nirmohatvam. That part, very hard for people to catch. And you can't just use a philosophy. Oh, I have to get detached. No, it won't happen. And you shouldn't do it also that way. You shouldn't use your mind to get detached and say, oh, this is very true. From today, I will be detached from the world. No, don't do it. That's all artificial. If that has to come naturally, then follow these formulas given by the great mystics. What is that? Satsang ke saath raho. Either outside, if not outside, inside. That will lead to nisangatvam. It will make you more independent. The dependency will go. It will make you nisang. You are happy with yourself. You are abiding in yourself. And that will lead you to nirmohatvam, because all the moha is coming due to dependency. Are you getting the whole point? That clinging comes because of dependency. Why is dependency coming? Because you think that is real, whatever you're catching. This is going to be with me eternally. That illusion makes you cling on to it. And that clinging, when you cling on to it, it changes, because whatever you're clinging, its nature is changing always. Why it is called Maya? Maya means it is constantly changing. It is not stay, it is not stable. So when it changes, that which you are clinging on to, when it changes, you are disappointed, because you held on to it so that you can get a proper supply of those things, whatever people, places, things, experiences. Now, when that is changing its attribute, you are shaking from inside, because it's not giving you what you desire it to be. That is called suffering. What is dukkha? In simple terms, dukkha means this, clinging on to something, and when that doesn't give you consistency, it results in suffering. Anything. See, right now I'm sitting, my hand is aching, or I'm suffering. See, what was the consistency? Your consistency was comfort. Suddenly, the consistency of the body changed. It gave you discomfort, suffering, agony. So, anything, your mind shaking, your relationship shaking, your emotions shaking, your feeling shaking, your bodily condition, whatever changes, that is known as dukkha. See, there only you can see that power of illusion when you're catching and dukkha is coming. So, when dukkha comes, what happens? You don't become aware of what's happening. Something is changing, you let go of that and you catch the next thing. That is called Maya. The ego is busy in clinging from one thing to the other, constantly jumping from one. If one thought you're thinking something and you're feeling nice, and suddenly the niceness goes, suddenly you'll catch change your thought. One friend you're very happy with, and very happy, and that friend changes his nature, uska mood change ho gaya, or the behavior changes, and dukkha comes. Now, would you become aware of? No, you will catch another friend. You'll see who's next available. Do you see that? One movie is boring. You switch on to the another channel. So everything is changing outside. And when this change happens, our mind changes. We keep clinging. That shift is what keeps us restless. This mind restless, you say, restless, restless. Where is it coming from? That changing nature, which it is constantly trying to fluctuate, it's coming from there. So if this much is understood, the whole sequence can be clearly understood. The whole problem is solved in this one formula given by Adi Shankaracharya. So Satsangatve Nissangatve Nirmohatvam. When nirmoha happens, you're clinging. You understand the nature of changing things, and thus you don't cling to them because you get pained. And that comes only by life experience. Life is the Mahaguru. No guru can teach you this. Guru can give you gyan, but it comes from direct experience. Constantly getting thrashed by life, holding, and you're not able to grip it. And that suffering, when it continues, then what happens? You start becoming more conscious. You become more aware of what's going on. Then you investigate. Then you look deeply into those things. And then is one what you call spirituality happens, or the guru comes, or wisdom comes, or whatever. Exploration comes. Then you hold on to some meditations. Why? You're understanding the constant changing nature. Now you want to depend more on your inner self. That is called spirituality. When that need arises in you. Thus, by grace, as you proceed on this path on different levels, this nirmohatvam gets activated. And that leads you to nischalatatvam. So, satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam. That leads you to stillness. Moha leads you to restlessness. Moha is what? Moha is not just with people. Anything that you have more, you know, sharir moha also that only. It will keep you restless. Constantly clinging onto the body, constantly clinging onto somebody else's body, constantly clinging onto the world, worldly objects, your philosophies, your theories, your concepts, whatever, clinging on, your children, your possessions, your titles, your name, constantly. You're constantly holding on to your status. And you see how restless you'll be to maintain that status. A little somebody says something about that, you get restless because you want to maintain it. So changing nature. So nirmohatvam leads you to nischalatatvam. Slowly you start becoming still, calmer, peaceful. So see, peace does not come by forcefully bringing peace. We try to meditate hard. We try to do all the kind of techniques, become peaceful. But the underlying currents are very strong. These currents are coming from agyanta, avidya, the ignorance. So until this ignorance is cleansed, which can only happen by the path of wisdom, ye gyan marg, because this is called gyan, the wisdom, the in-depth wisdom, the subtle wisdom, which takes you to the root and the source of all problems. Only when you have the illumination of that wisdom can you move in that direction and uproot that avidya or agyanta. That's why the guru is the remover of darkness. Antar timir mita. Timir is nothing but these ignorances. My inner darkness means what? All this darkness. I'm in dark. I don't know. I have no clarity about life. That is darkness. So guru, that's where the guru tattva comes into place. And guru is what? Guru is the inner light that gives you that wisdom. If you cannot understand through the inner light, then somebody from the outside light will come and give you that. Simple. Outside light must lead you to the inner light. The whole thing. That's why it says God only works from both ends. He talks to you from within. If you don't hear him, he talks to you from outside. So Nischalatatvam. And then what he says? Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischalatatvam, Nischalatatve Jivanmukti. That Nischalatatvam leads you to Jivanmukti, liberation, self realization. See the steps? So, if one is aiming towards self realization, towards freedom, liberation means what? Liberation, moksha doesn't mean going and merging somewhere in some light or in some God somewhere in the heaven. Liberation means freedom from the mind, freedom from the darkness of the mind. When you are free from the darkness of the mind, life continues, but you are free. That is called jivana mukti. In jivana, you get mukti. While life is there, you get mukti. So jivana mukta state is the one who is still in the body but is free from the clutches of ignorance. And that's the true meaning of mukti. Mukti is not imaginary after death or somewhere it happens late. It has to be attained in the now. That which is attained after the death, that is different. That is called Videha Mukti. Videha Mukti also happens. If you have lived your life very ripe and maybe you have not attained that illumination, but you are on the verge of illumination because of the karmas going on, going on, going on, going on. But it's very, very ripe. So ripe that it is just waiting for the body to drop, and that ripeness at that state is already ripe. It has nothing more to do. So the last drop of karma finishes and then it's mukta. That's called Videha Mukta. After with the body, after dropping the body. This what we're talking is all while in the body. Bhagwan Ram is the greatest example of Jivan Mukta. He was known as a Jivan Mukta. That is why he continued his life doing all his karma as a grahastha, taking care of his family, even his kingdom, his parents, his praja, his friends, everything was there. He did not run away from life. He was there, but internally he was a Jivan Mukta. He knew the play. He knew it's a play. So he's not bound by the emotion. It doesn't go that way. It shows Ram also is suffering then. Then what is the difference between you and Ram? If he also has to suffer, he's agitated, he's tensed, he's worried. No. That is all his bodily and mental states, but internally he's free. That's how, that's why he's called Jivan Mukta. So this tattva which is there to become free. The question asked was something else, but this thing came out, so I said, let me complete this particular topic. It's good for YouTube also to understand this particular phrase. So these things which is there, moha, which is one of the biggest difficulty to overcome. Like I said, the failure rate is more there when it comes to moha, because moha, nobody wants to give up. They want spirituality, they want evolution, they want spiritual progress, but they don't want to give up their moha. That is called agyanta. That is ignorance. Because if you have that ignorance, you will keep on doing tapas and this and that, you will do everything, but you will be restless inside. निश्चल तत्व आया ही नहीं, फिर क्या फायदा इतना पूरा करके? So many practices, so many gurus, so many paths, everywhere we go, but we are still restless. Why? Because we have not caught the sar, the essence. So the path of wisdom opens up. It's not that the other paths are false or bad or things like that, because by those paths only you reach to the path of wisdom. Because a lot of cleansing is required, eligibility to your viveka to open up so that you can explore these truths by yourself. Most of the people don't explore it. That is why they don't get gyan. Because that interest only is not. Interest is not there because Ashuddhi is there. A lot of mal is there. So they need other paths. They need to take use of yantra, tantra, mantra, all those things because they are good for chitta shuddhi. You do more of it, chitta shuddhi hota hai. Mind gets purified, purified, purified. And slowly, when the mind develops to a state where it wants to have greater and deeper realization, it wants to go to the substratum, it wants to go to the foundation of the whole thing, it wants to understand the root cause, it wants to go to the source. When it wants to go to the root, means it is ready to go to the source. And that source is where self is. You cannot directly go to that source. You have to finish off a lot of other things. And that is when the path of wisdom opens up. Jnana Marga. And Gyan Marga comes by itself. It's grace. You don't do it. You don't have to run anywhere. It comes when the time comes. It arrives by itself. Nobody does anything. Not your teachers, mentors, gurus, paths. They don't do anything. Neither do you do. The time is appropriate because the cleansing is happening. Everything is moving at that pace. So life is simply unfolding. That's what we are saying. There's nothing actually to run about, seek, find, hunt. You simply learn Nischalatatvam, abiding Satya ke Sang. You keep doing that. You'll see everything will come to you time to time. Everything will start appearing at the right time without you asking for it. Because as I told, more intelligent than this little intelligence is that cosmic intelligence. It knows. But we don't trust that, right? We trust our little buddhi.